So hello and welcome to another episode of Stephen's Four Wheels. As you can see, you're joining me on the inside of the SLK. That's because we're doing another episode in our series of detailing videos, and this time we're looking at the interior. So as you can see, the interior of the SLK actually isn't really that dirty. I thought the boot was dirty if you've seen my video about the review of the vacuum clean that I did. As you can see, a little bit of vacuum needed on the carpet, a little bit on the seats. I don't know if it really shows on the camera too much. I'm also going to give the seats a clean with leather clean, and also using leather balm on them as well. It's something I try and do about once every year, although I didn't do it last year because of the lack of use in the car. Other than that, it's sort of a general wipe around to get any dust off the dashboard and centre console. Looking a little bit dusty. I also do things like the air scarf in here. Also, guys, should give that a good dust out, and any little bits of plastic trim. As you can see, some blacky looking quite dusty up there. Also, just behind the headrests and the rollover bars here, there's a little panel there which the boot sort of, when the roof goes down, it all sort of folds up, and part of the roof mechanism. That's also looking very dusty as well, so that needs good going over it as well. Other than that, it's just really a general clean, tidy up, and there's a little bit of maintenance really. So the first thing I'm going to start off doing is by cleaning all the glass in the car. Now obviously I'm not going to let you follow me around and watch me do every single pane of glass in this car, because this video will be about 2 hours long. I'm just going to do it to show you on this side window here though. So the product I'm using is Autofinish Crystal Glass Cleaner. This is very good. The first time I actually used, I think that's the second time I used this product, but the first time I used it, I'm really impressed with this. You can find some glass cleaners do have a bit of a smeary finish. I did once have a new windscreen fitted, and when they fitted it, they left a really caked on layer of grease and horrible stuff over the windscreens on the interior. I couldn't get it off. And actually the only thing, even with glass cleaner, glass polish, I tried everything, the only thing that actually did it was some white vinegar, which you can get from most sort of everyday shops. So if you're really struggling and the glass cleaner is not shifting really stubborn stains, try a little bit of white vinegar. Back to this product that I'm going to spray a little bit on. It's a nice warm day today, so actually the glass clean doesn't sit on the glass too much and you won't stain, it dries quite quickly. If you do find that you've maybe put a little bit too much of the cleaner on, I do find just turn your wag over and just use the dry side to dry it off a little bit more. You do get a little bit of marks from the rubber, because this is a pillarless door. You don't have a pillar around this bit. Instead what it does, the window lowers ever so slightly, about ½ centimetre, and then goes back up again into a little rubber track that sits here. What you do get on this is a little bit of a rubber mark on there. It does come off easily, but you do just have to give it a little bit more of a rub. And I think that's about done. Now, so the interior is not actually too dirty, but just need a little bit of a going over. So that is the interior windows pretty much done. I'm going to carry on and do the rest of them, and for the next job I think we'll do some of the trims and give those a wipe over some interior cleaner. Okay, so now I have all the glass clean on the inside. I'm going to start moving on to all the trim on the inside as well. So for this I'm going to be using Total Interior Clean. Again, they're all Autofinish products. There's a little pattern emerging here, as you probably guessed. I do like their products. And it helps if you turn it on. So I haven't used this one. Okay, nice little bit of a few sprays. And all I'm going to do is give it a quick wipe over. It's quite mild today, so it will dry nice and quickly. Areas I can get into to trim behind there. You get your hand fingerprints behind there. And as you can see, this is all just fairly easy stuff really. Just get all of wipe over. Maybe a little bit of trim. As you can see, it's getting all little bits there. Little bits of detail, because the detail matters when you're doing car detailing. The clue's in the name. And that is all pretty much. There is two wiping over the interior trim. I'm not going to teach you how to suck eggs, I'm afraid. So that's pretty much it to cleaning the interior trim. Again, I'm not going to go around and do absolutely all the trim on the car because you'd be here again for about 2 hours of this video, and I don't think anybody wants to see 2 hours of me cleaning a car interior. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to go down, do all the rest of the trim, all up the door panels here. I'm going to go and put down the roof and do it behind the windows as well. I'm also going to use up the roof lining today as well, give that a good rub over. A little bit of trim around here as well, and I'll put down the roof and do that back little bar back there as well. So the next step is to clean the seats, and first of all I'm going to start off by giving it a bit of vacuum just to get any of the dust off them, getting little bits and pieces off them as well. So now that the seats have been thoroughly vacuumed and all the loose dirt and dust is off them, I can start actually cleaning the seat. As you can see, I'm using an interior leather cleaner here. I'm just spraying it directly onto the seats. And as my seats aren't that dirty, I'm just going to use a microfiber cloth and just give them a bit of a light going over. It hasn't been that long since the last time I actually cleaned these seats. It was probably about 2 years ago, but the car hasn't been used that much, so they're not that dirty. But just need a bit of a clean off really. If your seats were quite dirty or you want to do a bit more of a thorough clean, then you could also use an interior detailing brush, and actually some packs also come with a brush that you can use for the seats, and actually you can scrub at them and get in a little more detail than what I'm doing here. Once I finish cleaning the seat, I just let the seats dry naturally. Again, it's quite a mild day that I did this on, so it wasn't really taking that long to dry, and then we can move on to the next stage, which is applying the balm to the seats. So the next step is going to apply the balm to the seats, and the balm is quite important to apply because over time, if you just to clean the seats, you're basically taking a lot of the moisture out of the seats, and what the balm's doing is putting that moisture back in, so you're not going to get the seats cracking, you're not going to get any damage to the seats. This is actually going to help the leather survive a little bit longer. So as you can see, it's a little bit of a different technique here I'm using to apply the balm compared to the leather cleaner. All I'm going to do is apply 3 to 4 sort of pea-sized drops onto the applicator pad. I then scrunch up the applicator pad just to get all the material and all the liquid actually into the pad, and as you can see, all this is very simply a bit like a polish or wax. All I'm going to do is just go over the seat and make sure that is all evenly applied on there. Now rather than with the cleaner, you just put a little bit of a layer onto there. I'm actually making sure I massage this in, almost making sure all the sort of indents in the leather actually get covered as well. So now, as you can see, I've swapped the microfiber pad for a microfiber cloth, and all I'm doing is going over the seats and getting off any of the excess for the balm as well. back of the passenger seat now done, I can move on to the base of the seat and then move on to the driver's seat as well. So I thought now it'd be interesting to show you the comparison between the driver's seat, which hadn't been done, and the passenger seat, which had fully been done by this point. And as you can see, there's definitely a difference in them. There's much more of a shine on the driver's seat and much more of sort of almost a matte sort of satin finish on the passenger seat. So the final step is to get the vacuum out and just to vacuum any more of the little areas that need doing, such as the carpets, or to do down the sides of the seats, or to do behind the seats as well, and just any other areas that you think might need vacuuming out. And just before we end, I'd just like to point out that I have not been paid to promote these products. I'm not sponsored by any of the companies of the products that I featured in this video. These are all products that I bought out of my own money, and I use them because I like them. And with this final little bit of vacuuming, that brings our detailing of the interior to an end. I hope you've enjoyed this video and perhaps taken something away from it. If you have any questions, obviously please do ask me in the comments. If you see any ways that maybe you do something slightly different again, that would be useful to know as well. Obviously make sure you like and also make sure you subscribe to see more in my detailing video. As you can see, the results from the interior really looks quite smart now. I'm really impressed with it, and it's certainly ready for the show season now. So it's going to be goodbye from me and goodbye from the SLK, and I'll see you next time.